right, here we are, episode 20, no, 20. I keep saying 20 when we're actually episode 47. Pretty awesome. 47 hours of me babbling at a small glass cylinder. All right, hey, we got people. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Kristen. Hey, Wade. Always good to see you all. Exciting night tonight with all sorts of interesting information and stuff of informative nature. It's kind of a pun, actually. All right, so as usual, for those of you who've never been here before, but there are at least 4 people I recognize. Remember, if you're new here, say hi so I can say hi back to you and get to know the people who are watching. But for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Mark Merriwether Vorderbruggen, creator of the Idiot's Guide Foraging book. Of course, the Wazoo Survival Bandana, really awesome thing there. And the Foraging Texas website. Let me put a link up to these things. Hold on a second. Oh, cool. So we got Nick. Yep. Hey, Nick, you finished your search and rescue meeting. Good. Alexi, good evening. Benny, good evening. All right. So the usual housekeeping stuff first. I want to begin by thanking my sponsors and sharing with you some special deals they got going on right now. So, of course, we have to start with Uncommon Bees, my supplier of all things bee related. Right now, not only do they have the CBD type oils, but all sorts of other really cool bee things. They have a huge collection of different infused honeys and skincare products and all sorts of things like that. And let me put the link up for them. Actually, I'm going to put all these links up because you may have noticed I'm again flying by myself. So, Uncommon Bees, from now until midnight tonight, if you use the secret Foraging Texas secret code Forking Weeds, you get a 20% discount on your order. So you have time after the show, check them out, see if they have anything you need. I mean, they have, if you've just gotten a brand new tattoo, they have a special beeswax salve, healing salve to help with that. So they got everything. Another shout out to the herbs. My buddy over in East Texas, he's offering you all, what is it, a 10% or 15% discount on anything you order from him or his store. Herbal, medicinal related type products. You might get some ideas what to order tonight as we go through the show. And of course, I already showed you the Wazoo Survival Bandana that I worked on with them and Nicole Aplion, Dr. Nicole Aplion from the History Channel's Alone. So good stuff. If you purchase things from them, they help keep me afloat. So good stuff. All right. Hey, Uncommon Bees is here. Mark Gibbs is here. Cool. Emma, hey, Emma, haven't talked to you for a while. Tina. Nick, yeah, 20% off. That's a damn good deal on their stuff. So other things, I already shared the link to Foraging Texas, but just a reminder that if you just buy the Idiot's Guide Foraging from some random spot on Amazon, I get nothing. I don't get any royalties for this book. The only way I get royalties is if you buy it from that specific link, and I get 71 cents. Hey, it's 71 cents. Also, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do. You can shop for all sorts of different foraging and hiking and wilderness survival and urban survival type gear at the Foraging Texas store over on Amazon. I just put a link up there. And if you want a cool t-shirt or other type stuff with the Foraging Texas logo and know what your ancestors knew thing, you can get those from the Cafe Press store. Okay, enough pandering for money. Let's move on to upcoming classes. there's a ton of upcoming classes coming up. So I'll just put this link up one more time. You can see them all over at the Foraging Texas website because there's a bunch of pretty much every weekend starting, well, basically now until mid-June. I got stuff going on, either the public classes or private classes. There are several free classes if you're in the Houston area that I do for like the Jesse H. Jones Nature Fest, Washington on the Brazos historic site, things like that. So check it out, see if you can get together and let's do some wild stuff in the wild. All right. Hey, Emma, Deborah, good to see you. All right. Who else do we got? Okay. Well, that's good. We got people. Anything else from, okay, I'm just going to be really, really optimistic here. Just if you want to help directly. I feel like, I should be a really beautiful woman putting this up here, but, I got my wish list over on Amazon. So if you want to bring stuff, or help support me in another way, you can check out the wish list. Libby, yes. Let me bring this up. Do I have the link? No, give me a second. So Libby is asking, do I have a podcast? I can't always watch the videos. Remember, the videos are always available here after the show they're always available on the videos tab of the Foraging Texas Facebook page. And then I also have a YouTube channel where I post them after doing some minor editing to make them worthy of you all. So if you go to let me bring it up here quick, the YouTube channel, you would think I'd have the link available ready to copy and paste, but I don't. But let me just reply here. Oops, that's not it. Let me just reply here. Thank you for your patience. All right. So I replied to Libby, but then let me reply to everyone. If you miss these videos, you can catch them again either here at the Foraging Texas Facebook page or over on YouTube on the Dr. Merriwether page. Remember, this is episode 47. Over on YouTube, 40 of them are currently posted. I'm already falling behind because I'm so damn busy. But yeah, that's going on. Hey, Joe. Hey, Portia. Hey, Jody. Cool. People are here. All right. Wow. Yeah. Busy. So you've been watching the news about coronavirus. Interesting thing. We're kind of in a lull right now. For a while, it was dominating the news as the latest way the world was going to end. It seems to not be dominating the news, but the belief is suddenly it's going to explode across the world again and kill millions of people. It's possible. I have my doubts on that, really going to that extreme. A couple of things fuel these doubts. First, that while it does seem to have a fairly high transmittance rate, it's still not on par with like norovirus or even the common flu from the studies I've seen. That's one thing. Unlike SARS and some of the other really bad flus that triggered a really bad cascade avalanche in your immune system, actually turning your immune system against you, which caused the healthiest people to get it to be the ones that actually died. So like SARS was particularly bad for healthy, athletic, strong people with really strong immune systems, or people that were taking herbal supplements such as elderberry, which strengthened and activated the immune system. It actually worked against them because the SARS would turn your immune system against you, and the stronger and more powerful your immune system, the more damage it could quickly do to you, resulting in death. The coronavirus still, it's unfortunate, but it seems to mainly be fatal to the weaker, the infirm, people with compromised immune systems. So for healthy people, It's a flu, but there's a good chance you can fight it off. It's if you know people who are infirm, elderly, otherwise have compromised immune systems, you want to be getting them the elderberry stuff right away. That by far seems to be the, in my opinion, from what I've seen, to be the key plant herbal remedy type thing. A person recently asked my opinion on a scientific paper that he had found, and it turned out to be really fascinating. It came out, and let me post the link to this. I'll post a specific quote from it and the link here. Hey, Stacy. Long time no see. Hope you're holding things down at work there. Ben, Julie, always good. So, the article, scientific article, published in a non-peer-reviewed science journal. So it hasn't been completely torn apart by other scientists yet, but the study was kind of interesting because one of the things they say in there, and I'm going to paraphrase, I put the quote here. Actually, I'm going to back up some. And let's talk about how viruses attack your body. So in your body, you have lots of cells. You have heart cells, you have lung cells, you have intestine cells, you have sinus cells, you have eyeball cells. And even amongst, like the lung, you have a bunch of different types of lung cells. Your body is constantly sending out chemicals off to do certain things to different cells in your body. So it needs some way of recognizing when it gets to the particular cell that it's supposed to activate. One of the ways it does this is on the surface of cells, they have all sorts of proteins that are identifier type proteins. So you got this hormone that's looking for a particular lung cell to do something, and it finds a cell and it goes, nope, 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 these aren't the proteins I'm looking for, and off it goes. And then it comes along and it goes, yep, these are the surface proteins I need. I'm going to latch on here, get taken into the cell, and start doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a hormone in the body. So, like I said, all your cells have assorted signal proteins on the surface that indicate the type of cell they are. So the body knows, what to do with it. The way viruses work is they have proteins on their surface that will specifically target some sort of protein on the surface of some sort of cell. Like the traditional cold virus. It has the ability to grab onto the cells in your sinuses that have a very specific protein on them that says, hey, I'm a sinus cell. If you want to do something with the sinuses, look for that. And it's a fairly generic binding protein on the virus. It's on the cold virus, the rhinovirus. It's able to latch onto a number of different of these proteins on the surfaces of cells in the sinuses. Okay, so you get in here. The viruses, it has to glom onto a cell somehow. The way it does is it has some sort of protein on the virus that is complementary to a protein on the cell surface. And so kind of the lock and key sort of a thing, it can grab onto that protein. Once it's grabbed on, it usually has an ability then to inject the viral DNA into the cell, hijack the cell, and start making the cell make new viruses. Okay, you with me so far? I'm just going to check here. Yes, Matthew, these are not the droids you're looking for. So, interesting thing with the coronavirus, not the beer, the virus, is the scientists have actually figured out the surface protein that the virus latches onto to, infect the cell. And these are very specific proteins on some very, very, very specific cells inside the human lung. Now, what's interesting about this is currently with the mutation that's out there doing its bad things, is that particular protein that it binds to is only found in the average human in about, 0.2 Yeah, about 0.5% of your lung cells. So, of all the lungs or all the cells in your lungs, this virus would only be able to latch on to 0.5% of them. So less than 1% of the cells in your lung. So it has to, eventually find, that needle in a haystack sort of thing and glom onto it and do its business. What's interesting, though, is these researchers found that there is a common mutation found in a number of Asian people that instead of that particular type of cell in the lung being only 0.5% of their lungs, this particular mutation found in a number of Asian people results in there being about 2.5% of the lung cells having that protein on the surface. That means they're a lot more likely to get this virus. That's probably what allowed the virus to jump from whatever critter it was normally into the people in Wuhan where it started. So, yeah, long story short, this particular virus, based on this early research, and like I said, this particular article has not been completely peer reviewed. There could still be some things going on with it, but from that article, it really seems like the disease has a specificity, or if you're an Asian person with this mutation, it increases the chances of you getting this particular coronavirus. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. If it just mainly does lots of damage across the Asia and Asia Pacific regions, a number of cases, like 4 or 5, something like that, have been found in the U.S. The question is, and it isn't talked about in the news, what is the nationality and ethnicity of the people? Now, of course, I'm not saying avoid Asian people. I married one and adopted 2. So I'm, if anyone is at risk, it would be my family. But that being said, we're still not all that concerned. Yeah, bats and snakes. There's also talk about rats, but there's a lot of viruses hanging out in wild animals that just never make it to humans because the proteins that the viruses and the animals bind to are completely different from those in the humans. That's one of the problems with pigs. Pigs actually have a lot of similarity to humans, no surprise there. And so it makes it that much easier for diseases from pigs to jump over to humans. Okay, wait, 12 cases in the USA of today. Actually, let me put up another thing here. For those of you who are interested, CNN is putting up a timeline that they update on occasion as far as what's going on with the coronavirus. Kind of interesting. So it started back in December is when the timeline began, and when the earliest indications that this is a different sort of virus popped up. But it was updated as soon as today. Oh, hey, lots of people. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Julie. Oh, I said Julie, but I always say hi to Julie. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Brother Paul. And when I say Brother Paul, I mean, yeah, he's actually my brother by genetics. Joe, hey, Francis, loving the pictures of your family. I can't believe how big you have. Yeah. Hey, hopefully you'll be at the Houston Livestock Show. We can run into each other there again. Hey, Matt. Hey, Richard. Good job. Good to see you. People are here. Yeah. So just to update, like I said, on the coronavirus, the most recent scientific type information on that shows that part of the issue is I won't say a common Asian mutation, but there is a mutation found in some Asian people that increases the number of lung cells that have the specific binding protein that the coronavirus targets and uses to enter and infect humans. So that's going to be something to follow. Hey, Kathleen, better late than never. Whew, okay. Wow, 20 minutes. Tonight we are drinking water because I'm trying to avoid alcohol until I get down to at least 220 pounds. One of the things with my new job is I actually have time to work out again. So since then, I started the job at around 247 pounds, which was I'm currently down to 230 pounds, so I've lost quite a bit already, but I'm trying to, I've been working out, eating right, eating less, and trying to get down. My goal is 200 pounds. That is my fighting weight. That is what I graduated graduate school from back in '97. And even, it was before the bicycle crash. Actually, before the bicycle crash that gave me the concussion and all that, I was still down at 200 pounds. And then after that, I just ballooned. So, yeah, it's up to you all to hold me. I will report my weight, and you can shame me or praise me or whatever you want. But my goal, like I said, stated here in front of you all, is back down to 200 pounds. Okay. Oh yeah, drink the wine so I don't have to. Yep, portion control, that's a big part of it. Trying to avoid excess calories. Okay, lots of stuff going here. Yeah, I had 200 pounds, but yeah, I'm 6'5" and 200 pounds. I'm a lean, mean, fighting machine, then. I am a dagger. Well, I'm not right now. Right now, I'm more of an armadillo. But yeah, my plan is to be a snake. That's what it is, a snake. Okay, enough about me. Let us talk about plants, because that's why you're here. That's why you joined here 22 minutes ago. So last week, go check it out. If you weren't here, you can see, just follow the videos tags on this Facebook page. We mainly covered the elderberry and all its wonderful immune stimulating powers. And then also we talked some about Heals All, which is another good one. So we are going to skip talking about those. I'm not even going to answer any questions about those tonight because there are more. So let me bring up the next one because this is a very common weed. All over Texas right now. So the cleavers, some people know this as sticky weed, some know it as Velcro weed. It's out in abundance right now, and it has been shown to have antiviral properties. Like always, I've included a link to scientific paper or papers that support this, and so I have that there. Something interesting from that scientific paper. So with cleavers, my normal tincture, like this is from 2018, normally I would dry the leaves or dry the cleaver plant and then soak them in a vodka to extract the medicinal compounds. Turns out that's not the best way of doing it though. The specific compounds you want are not very water soluble from an extraction point of view. What really works to get the best results is you want to use 190 proof alcohol, so like Everclear type stuff. So for that, you would take your basic pint jar, fill it at least half full, like 5 fingers full, with the chopped up fresh cleavers, and then fill it up, to the shoulder here with Everclear. You can go a little more. You can go like 6 fingers of the green cleavers, and then and add to the top with Everclear. But you still want to keep the cleaver to Everclear ratio pretty high in the side of the Everclear, because what the Everclear is going to do is it is going to suck everything out of the cells, including the water, which is then going to dilute the Everclear some and reduce its ability to solvate the particular compounds you want. So when it's all said and done, you still want the Everclear, or the proof of it, probably to be upwards around 140. So 140 proof. So you don't want to use too much cleavers in the vodka because it's going to dilute it down so much. So go with like 4 fingers of cleavers, fresh cleavers, and then up to the threads with Everclear, and go with that. Let it soak 6 to 8 weeks. So this is really something you want to do in advance. It's a little hard right now, but at least you're prepared for the wave 2 of the things. As far as just eating the cleavers to get the medicinal properties, that's a bad idea, because if you know anything about cleavers, they have that sticky, velcro-y sort of effect going on, and even cooking doesn't reduce it all that much. So there's a good chance as you're trying to swallow some of the cleavers, they're just going to grab onto your throat and hang out there until someone can come in with the forceps and get them out. So really, your best bet is to very quickly, like tomorrow, go out and start collecting cleavers, chop them up, and soak them in Everclear. And then that has shown in the paper there the scientific proof that it helps, it interferes with the replication of viruses in your body. So that's really good. Okay, Matthew, no, I'm not going to talk about hackberry tonight. Catch me after the show. Deborah, hey Julie. Oh, hey Julie, good idea, Lent Buddy, we can do that. Wow, it's going to be tough, but yeah. Michael, Jamie, hey Jamie. Michael, people there? Yeah, okay. Matthew, popular masticating wheatgrass juicer in for a smoothie. Oh, that's an idea. Well, yeah, so Matthew mentioned using a wheatgrass juicer. That actually might work. Interesting. I need to think on that, but that's a good idea. Oh, and you stir fry them all the time. Do you, Matthew, I'm asking this specifically to you, do you have a problem with the stem staying woody even after stir frying? Because that's one of the issues I have. Kevin, chop before aging or after the cleaver? Kevin, in this case, with the 190 proof Everclear tincture, you don't dry it. Use it fresh and green. Just chop it up and get it in there, and it will take the stuff out. In the scientific paper, that's what they did. They were using the fresh cleavers and doing the absolute alcohol, 190 proof alcohol extraction. And so to best mimic the science, I would recommend taking the fresh green cleavers and extracting them with the Everclear. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, Matthew. They get woody pretty quickly around here, so... Okay, so the cleavers are a really good one, and very, 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 very common right now. Okay, next one. Now let's jump to a mushroom. And your fan and my favorite, the reishi. So around here in Texas, in the reishi family, we have the... Ganoderma curtsy and the Ganoderma sessile that are the 2 common ones. Now, these are hot weather summertime mushrooms, so you're unlikely to find any usable ones right now. And the process for extracting the particular materials are, it's very time consuming. It's what's called a double extraction, where you soak it in alcohol first for 6 to 8 weeks, and then you boil it in water and add the two together. But the fact that you can't find the fresh mushrooms right now kind of makes it a moot point. However, there are lots of sellers of the reishi powder, where they've taken the whole mushroom and ground it up, dried it, ground it up, and sell it as a powder or capsules. And this will still have the benefits and the medicinal compounds you want. So I'm not going to play any favorites. I'm not going to go post any Amazon links to any particular reishi extract. There's some I found that I like, but the main thing is look for a company that has some proof what they're giving you is reishi. So look for a pretty well-known company. As far as taking the powder, if you're not taking it in a capsule, be warned it is extremely bitter. One of the probably the best ways of consuming it is to add it directly to your coffee. Don't add it to, if you're making coffee, don't add it to the filter and grounds, because you're not going to get out all the compounds you need. Add the powder directly to the coffee, and then just stir it before drinking, and just make sure you get all the dregs and dust and so forth. But coffee is a pretty good way of hiding the flavor of the reishi mushrooms. But the reishi mushrooms, I posted there some good articles. They're very good at strengthening the immune system and just overall protection of your body. So very, 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 very medicinal mushroom. It's one of the key components in my elixir of immortality that I drink every day. So, Uncommon Bees. Okay, quick word. I know what Uncommon Bees is talking about. One thing I ask when you are posting a question, don't use the pronoun it. Include the name of the plant that you are asking about. So it would be, when I freeze dry reishi, does it lose anything? That way, if I miss the question when it's first posted, I can go back and see what specifically you are talking about. So please always include the name of the plant in your questions. But in the case of Uncommon Bees, from what I've been able to determine, because I'm looking at making a reishi thing for the Medicine Man Plant Company, freeze drying does not harm the particular compounds that you are after. So freeze drying is fine. And that's usually what they're doing with the powders for the reishi. So, yeah, Matthew, that's one of the things. A good company will supply you with what's called a C of A, or a certificate of analysis, where they've tested the plant materials for pesticides and heavy metals and a number of other bad things like that. It's one of the things, again, with the Medicine Man Plant Company, we require the C of A from our suppliers to make sure there's nothing bad hidden in the good stuff they're giving us. Jacqueline, no, I cannot sell the elixir of immortality because that would put me in jail for a number of different reasons. But hold on a second here, and this is another one I should. There are directions on Foraging Texas how to make it yourself. So let me just pop that up. There it is. Okay. So, reply to formula for elixir of war. It's so much easier when Merriwether is here. Okay. So there is direct response to you, Jacqueline, and then for everyone else, I hopefully posted it again. Yeah, hopefully it'll bring it up. If not, let me elixir. Oops, of. Thank you for your patience while I type with 2 fingers. Okay, so follow that link and it goes through the instructions, the plants, and so forth for making that. Yeah. Okay, wow. Okay, 8:34. I should do a reminder here for people who have just recently joined. Some of my sponsors have some great deals going right now. So Uncommon Bees is offering you 20% discount on any of their products from their store if you use the Forking Weeds coupon code. And then the Herbs up in East Texas, the online store and so forth, is linked there too. Use the Forking Weeds coupon code with them and get 15% discount. Like I said, with the Uncommon Bees, all their stuff is already infused into honey, whereas with the Herbs shop, you can get, fresh herb type stuff from them. So depending on what route you want to go. Okay, and of course the Foraging Bandana. I will say the great thing about Foraging Bandana, the Wazoo Survival, is they actually give me cash. Awesome. I mean, I got to pay taxes on it, but it's still cool. Okay. Kevin Russ, any Sweetgum Sap in your elixir? No, I don't have enough Sweetgum trees available to me to collect the sap, but it is a good source of medicinal properties there. What else? Anything else there? Hey, Henry. Hey, Trisha. Yeah, definitely, Wade. Go out and pick some cleaver tomorrow. All right. Okay. Moving on. Oops, I need my... Okay, we talked about... Okay, next one is another good one. So I like the hoof mushrooms. They have also been found to have some antiviral and immune system stimulating powers, in particular the strengthening the immune system. What's really cool, something I really love about the hoof mushrooms, also known as the tinder mushrooms, is Otzi, the prehistoric iceman that was found in a glacier up in the Alpine region in Europe there. Oh man, it was like 15, 20 years ago now. Estimated he was around 5,000 years old. He was found in a pouch. He had slices of the tinder mushroom, the hoof mushroom, with him, and it was believed he had them for for their medicinal properties, because these things really do have some strong medicinal properties. And there was enough information, enough scientific papers on it that I just put up the search term that I used at the PubMed website, the medical publications website run by the U.S. government, because there's lots and lots and lots of scientific proof that the hoof mushrooms have a really beneficial impact on the human immune system, helping us fight off all sorts of diseases, not just viral, but also bacterial, but really any sort of infection. So the hoof mushrooms, they're out around a lot right now. They will be growing on dead trees. I don't have a sample here, but you can see on the picture, if you go to the website there, they kind of look like gray horses' hooves, or I'm trying to do something here, kind of animal hooves growing on the side of trees. And you really want to get them when they're still fresh and the underside is more of an off-white cream color than if it's a gray or dark brown color. If you cut a piece off and it's still kind of rubbery, and if you squeeze really hard, some liquid comes out of it, then you're probably still good to go with that mushroom. You're definitely not going to poison yourself or anything like this. So the hoof mushrooms, the tinder mushrooms, are another tincturing mushroom. From what I found, you can just do the regular chop it up real fine and throw it in vodka to make the tincture. I haven't seen anything requiring the double extraction where you first do the alcohol extraction and then a pure water extraction and combine the two together. It seems like a straight vodka type extraction is good enough. Also remember that the mushrooms, they don't have that cell wall that the regular plants do. So you don't need to dry the mushrooms down to break down that cell wall. Really, the mushrooms, their cell walls are more of a kind of a almost like skin, really, sort of thing. So just chopping them up really fine, throwing them in vodka, letting them sit 6 to 8 weeks, straining it out, teaspoon a day. You'll be going a long ways towards strengthening your immune system and fighting any, the diseases that follow the winter, the lung crud and flu and stuff like that. So good thing there. Like I said, look for them on dead trees. Keep in mind, if you are in city parks or state parks or, most public areas, you can't harvest the cleavers. You can't harvest the hoof mushrooms. You gotta harvest the cleavers from private property where you have permission or along roadsides. And then as far as the mushrooms, you are really limited to the 3 national forests in Texas. The Sam Houston National Forest, the Angelina National Forest, and then the LBJ, the national grasslands. But there aren't any trees in the grasslands, so you're not going to be able to get anything there. Now, the national parks, which is completely separate from the national forests. You're not allowed to harvest the mushrooms in the national parks. It has to be the national forests. That being said, if you come along to my classes, if you're lucky, we'll come across some of these mushrooms and you'll be able to at least get a sample to make a little bit of tincture because, we can't strip the woods where we're doing the classes of these things. Whew. Okay, so yeah, a couple of good mushrooms to strengthen your immune system. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Longtime friend. Man, I got some people who have been with me for a long, long time here. Cool, Michael, you like the bandana? Yeah, it's a great one. A lot of work went into that bandana. Okay, next one. Everyone's buddy. Echinacea. Now, you will notice with the Echinacea link, I don't have a link to the Foraging Texas website. I will not put Echinacea on the Foraging Texas website because it is endangered in the wild. It is because of its really potent medicinal properties. It is being ripped from the wild legally, illegally, immorally. It is disappearing in the wild, so don't take it from the wild. It grows really well in gardens. You can grow a wonderful medicinal garden with it, and you can buy the Echinacea tea from all of our sort of reputable dealers who are, growing it. Do not take Echinacea from the wild. Like I said, it is disappearing. It is just a hair away from being put on the official endangered plant list. So stop doing that if you're digging it up. Grow it in your garden. For medicinal uses, ideally you want the whole plant, the flowers, the leaves, the stem, and the root. That combination ground up and made into a tea will have the most immune system stimulating properties. So root, stem, leaves, flowers, ground up, seeds even, ground up and just brewed as a tea will go a long ways towards strengthening your immune system and helping you fight any of the diseases out there. Obviously if you dig up the root, you're killing the plant. It's a kind of a perennial under right conditions. Even if the upper aerial part die, the root is still there, ready to grow next year. So at least when you first plant it and you're trying to get it to spread, go ahead and just take the aerial parts, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, dry them, grind them into a tea, and use that. Especially in combination with cleavers, you're going to get a really, really good immune system stimulating tea from that. You don't need to dig up the roots. Let them spread in your garden until such a point where you have some roots to spare. So get it, plant it, grow it, dry it, grind it, drink it, and you will be immortal. Or at least have a much stronger immune system than you did. Okay, yeah, Michael, it's on the verge of being endangered. There's a huge, huge problem with Echinacea rustling. If you find it at farmers markets and so forth, be wary. Unless you really trust the person selling it, it's a big problem. So, ironically, the Echinacea rustling is a big problem. And also people sneaking into parks, like state parks and national parks and national forests, and cutting down slippery elm trees to harvest the slippery elm bark for its own soothing properties. So yeah, there's a market for. Oh man, I shouldn't even be telling you this because man, no one here ever better, rustle illegally, immorally a plant. Follow the rules and ethics I laid out on the Foraging Texas website, because I don't want to add to the destruction of nature. I want to teach you how to harness it in a sustainable manner, not destroy it. Please don't destroy it. Like I've said before, the day I hear foraging is actually causing harm to the ecosystem in Texas, I am shutting everything down. Foraging Texas, the website goes away, all this gets deleted. So please, 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 for everyone's sake, follow the rules and ethics posted on the Foraging Texas website. Okay. Yeah, Matthew, no, they're cutting down the whole trees. It's scary. I need to dig up the article again. But yeah, especially over in Louisiana, slippery elm tree rustling is a thriving business. Okay, off my pedestal here. Or off my soapbox. Okay, the next one, and this is another good one. Oops, and this is very common up in the Texas Hill Country and parts west. Oh, yes, Lee Williams. Echinacea seed bombs would be a wonderful idea. Absolutely wonderful idea. And you can purchase Echinacea seeds, from all sorts of seed catalogs and so forth. But yeah, just this seed bombing the areas where Echinacea used to grow, sunny field type areas, definitely. Oh hey. Howdy, Matthew. Yep. Spring is where it's at. Okay, fillery. There are two types of fillery in Texas. The Agarito circa something and the Agarito texanum. I don't speak Latin. I'm always afraid that if I say Latin wrong, some demon will appear. No, just kidding. I just suck at Latin pronunciation. But yeah, up in the hill country right now, the fillery, very, very, very distinctive plants. There's nothing else that looks like them. A lot of scientific proof that they have some antiviral properties. Again, this is a plant that you would dry for like 2 weeks and then crush up and drink as a tea to get these medicinal properties. The fillery itself, you can use it as a pot herb. It's edible. It's not just medicinal. You can treat it like spinach. I find the flavor is slightly better if you cook it. Treat it like spinach. Cook it that way. I'm not completely sure, though, if cooking damages the medicinal properties. I don't think so, but really best if you want it strictly for anti-corona flu type, or any disease type thing. Dry it and make a tea from it. Based on the scientific papers that is probably your best bet for using it in a medicinal manner to get the most benefit from it. You will find Fillory. It is a disturbed area sort of plant. It is what I consider to be a nurse plant. So areas that are tore up, that are bare soil, is where you are really, really, really likely to find Fillory in the hill country, and then west all the way out into Big Bend. It does like some moisture, so ideally a wet area, or sorry, a disturbed area that either gets watered on occasion, or in a rainy area. The drier it gets as you move west, the less likely you are to find the Fillory. Like I said, way out in West Texas, look for it, and Arios and other drainage sort of areas or near ponds. But in the general hill country area, even a lot of like gravel pathways or dirt roads, it will be growing right up there. As long as there isn't a lot of heavy traffic that just smashes the plant. But yards, flower beds, just gravelly sort of soils where there isn't grass, that's where you're going to find the Fillory. And like I said, it's a very, very good antiviral type plant. Okay, Melody, you mentioned Sweetgum Sap in passing. Do you plan to expand on that? We've got 1 million of those trees around here. Okay, Melody, let's see. No, I didn't include it. I will respond to your question with some scientific... Wait a minute. I think I got them on the Sweetgum page. Hold on. Sweetgum. I'm over on the Foraging Texas website. Oops, that's right. Sweetgum. Yes, okay. I got information there. I don't have the links to the scientific papers, but let me... Sweetgum Medicinal Sap. And the link. And post. And then for everybody doing the same. Okay. Wow, lots of questions. Okay, yeah. So if you go to the Foraging Texas website, the Sweetgum post, which I linked here, it talks about the medicinal properties. It gives very little detailed information. It just lists some of the properties. But in a nutshell, to collect the sap, you just make some V-shaped cuts on the bark. The sap oozes out. It's a white latexy sort of thing. It dries into rubbery boogers, and you scrape that up and dissolve it in alcohol or make a tea out of it. It doesn't dissolve well in the tea, though. So you might have to play around with it some. But yeah, the Sweetgum sap and the leaves have a number of different medicinal properties. Yep, lots of uses. Okay, where are we? Wow, 8:53. Man, these things go fast. It feels like I just started talking. I need it. My voice is going. Like I said, just water. Okay, next one. Okay, and this one, since we were talking to hill country, let's throw another one up here. Okay, this one, the Agarito Route. This is another common hill country plant. It should be flowering soon, but the roots of it have some some antibacterial and antiviral properties. Now, that being said, do I have it here? Yep, there it is. Okay. You notice I have a link here, the medicinal plants of the desert and canyon west, instead of scientific links. I did that because Michael Moore, the author in this book, he puts some scientific links in there. Actually, Agarita is way up in the front there. But, the name of the book is The Desert and Canyon West. But the plants, there's like Echinacea. He lists Echinacea, and he has a map showing where in Texas you can find the Echinacea. Don't steal it from the wild there. Grow it yourself. But anyway, this is a really, really good book for learning about medicinal plants. And so, oops, I guess it helps if I actually put the link up. That link there, the Amazon.com link, goes to this book. And if you buy this book from that link, I get 6% of the sales price. So it's one more way to pander for money. But this is a really good book because it does give the links to scientific literature, the journal articles and so forth, where he got his information. So good medicinal plant book. Oof. But yeah, so the Agarito, that's in that he talks about using the root to make a tincture or a tea for medicinal antiviral type properties. Again, the root, it's extremely bitter. So it's one of those things you want to mix with other things. That being said, the bitter flavor can be used to make cocktails. Put a teaspoon in with some whiskey and a little lemon peel and make yourself an old fashioned using a medicinal tincture. And wow, my camera is not focusing on me. Oh well. Yep, berberine. That is the particular compound. Berberine is mainly known as an antimicrobial, antibacterial. I actually believe there may be some other chemicals in there that have the antiviral effect, because I don't know if berberine does. Hey, Diana. Yep, you're here, but you can always watch the replay. Hey, Terry. Yeah. Okay. So, wow, 8:56. Hey, Teresa, you're right at the end. All right. So today we covered a number of other medicinal plants to help you fight viruses, strengthen your immune system, things like that, to help you fight the diseases that are going around. Now, no guarantees that it will prevent you from getting coronavirus, but it does increase your odds of either not getting it, or if you do get it, lessening the effects, because your body can fight it more quickly. You know what? I'm just going to do something here. What if I go, hey, look at that. It's a much paler version, but much clearer version of Merriwether. Okay. Oh, Frankie, and all, yeah. It's mainly in the roots, but yeah, it's in the other parts too. Okay, 8:57. One more shout out to my sponsors. Go ahead, get the bandana. You'll notice it has edible and medicinal and cordage and fire starting properties of the plants listed. Get your raw herbs from Herbs. I'll put the link up again. You can get both raw or mixed already into useful combinations of medicinal herbs. Or you can get infused honey or other bee products with from Uncommon Bees. So really, really great ways, of taking care of your health. And let me put those links up. And also with herbs and with Uncommon Bees, if you use the secret code Forking Weeds, you get a massive discount. From Herbs, if you use the Forking Weeds coupon code tonight, you will get a 15% discount. And with Uncommon Bees tonight, up until midnight, you will get a 20% discount. Normally, Forking Weeds will get you a 10% discount, but on Thursday nights, as a cross-promotion sort of thing, use the Forking Weeds with them, and you will get the 20% discount. All right, whoops, let me put that up there. Okay. Oofda, 8:59. At this point, there is food that smells absolutely delicious in the kitchen, so I am going to bid adieu. I will see you next week. I don't know what next week's topic will be, but I will try and make it interesting. So good night, all. Love you all, and stay healthy. All right? Deal? Deal. Good night.